Alright, what's up guys, welcome back to a Grand Cross video, and today we're going to be going through the new update, which is obviously starting off with the Hell Boss, which you saw by the thumbnail title, and yeah, honestly, did summon him yesterday, surprisingly not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Bear in mind, obviously, they get quite a lot of decent gear recently since the new leader event was out, and yeah, so I have one raid boss ready to go. I'm not going to do it now, because I've already recorded 3 gameplays of defeating each of the raid bosses, and I'm going to talk through it so you know what's going on. But the most important thing, obviously, now we have Hell, which costs only 4 more stamina. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but since there are more rewards in this one, like you saw here, I think you get less horns. So if you are going for horns, I recommend probably doing... Am I wrong? Yeah, it looks like you get more, right? So if you want horns, probably do the extreme one. But considering the resources you get for the perfume, the actual splendid fabric, I think it was, and then also brilliant component, these are way more valuable, so it's probably worth doing these. Plus, you can just bring a double horn food. But yes, the most important update is this one here. So global exclusive, I believe. You can see here, gold chest. You can get the perfume. Now, bear in mind, if you do host it, you're not guaranteed it. So if you do manage to host them, you do get a guaranteed one. And if you join a friend or join any raid boss, you have an 8% chance to get it. So if you do get a gold box, you know you got one, because it's literally just, you can only get that. If you get a gold box, you got this. Unlike the extreme one, which has 10%, so you may think, oh, it's got better odds. It doesn't, because when you do get a gold box, you have to get you have a chance to get any of these ones. So it's what, massive crap. There's 5 of them, so it's what, 20% chance if you get a gold box to actually get one of the new upgrade cosmetic items. But what's different about the Hell Boss? Well, if we go to the hero and set a team, I'll go through some teams now. It's actually kind of cool. They changed it. So you can click this button here, Hell. Don't be confused, because it is quite limited. So literally click Hell, and it will sort out the raid bosses. Because if you have to switch between Hell and Extreme, it would be quite annoying, because well, you can only bring type advantage colors. Now, the minimum CC you have to have is 300k, so it's probably recommended both of the people in the team have 150. Now, if you got a good team, you can have like 160, and the other person can have 140. I did that today. But yeah, this is the team. Now, you can only bring blues. You can see here if you go to set your team. Restricted heroes. Like I said, you can only bring blues. Remember, this is at least for the red demon. If we're going to talk about the red demon, I guess I'll put footage in the background while we're talking about it. The red demon is actually kind of the second easiest, I believe. So he still can be petrified. So if you are going to bring king, you can still petrify. But the thing is, since there are no freezes or people that can upgrade his cards, you do have to actually get 2 of his fossilized cards and combine it, and then you can still do it. You can still fossilize into the next turn, but it's just bear in mind he's not quite good, since his yeah, he can heal and he can fossilize, but his damage isn't too good. So this is the team I brought here. Bear in mind, if you do actually have the new characters, so this is Jenna, you might want to bring her, because she actually is built for the raid boss. So Infect, which restricts recovery related stats, which is kind of okay. But this one here, cancel stances on the tier 1. Now this is kind of good, because the red boss does actually go into stance mode quite a bit. This does break, which does 2 times damage against people who are assuming stances. So if you want to break his stance, you can. But if he isn't a stance and you don't have that card, you can use the ult, which will do some damage. Plus this one here, he will debuff you quite a bit, since he will be attacking most of the time. So you will get ignite. So Jenna is pretty good. Plus, I'd have to tell you the reason why. She does have the outfit, which guarantees you a certain perfume, or you get the perfume right for defeating it. So you're going to use her regardless. But if your main team does die, and she comes in, she actually isn't too bad of a character to use. Now, the recommended characters to bring here, honestly, this team here, probably the best free-to-play team, I'd assume. Actually, maybe Arthur, because Arthur was given away for free. So I'm lucky enough to have Aaron 6'6", oh not 6'6", UR gear, because obviously I did get 6'6" Titan from Aaron, and I bought all the costumes. So obviously when I do bring Aaron, he is probably going to be an MVP, and honestly not too bad, since his second card does have cancel stances. Now there is another Bond who does that, which we'll go in a minute. Plus this skill too, Boss of Attack, he can evade, so if you are like the last live, you can obviously try and do that. His passive doesn't come in because it is a demon. But yeah, Aaron's a pretty good pick. He was given away for 6'6" for free, so he's going to do a ton of damage. So ultimate here does remove ultimate gauge, so if he's getting close, you can do that. This card here is pretty good. You kind of want to have one each round. Basically what he does, he decreases attack related stats, so he pretty much does almost no damage, which is nice. Bear in mind, it's only one turn, unless it's a tier 3. But yeah, you kind of want to have this each turn so he does no damage to you. Because if he does his little fireball attack, it does do quite a lot of damage and probably will kill someone. This one just ignore defense. So I believe when he does his stance, he will ignore it. Plus, it just does tons of damage, right? This one isn't really going to be too much since he will probably attack you. He does do an AoE attack, but if he doesn't get attacked one turn, he will increase his attack-related stats. It's not too bad. Harmers, we did bring, just because I heard he was kind of good for it. He's not too bad. You will hit patience, so this card is useless. Decreases its defense. Now, if you get that to a gold, 75%, it's quite mad, so you can do a ton of damage. Probably will, if you get ultimate off, it's going to be pretty good. And also this one increases speed, so you're going to increase the HP of everyone else, so it's kind of nice since you are only bringing blues. And then also his ultimate decreases defense-related stats by 60% for 3 turns. So yeah, if you use this guy and use an ult, especially Eren, with his buff up, you're probably going to kill someone. Now, who are the alternative characters to bring? Well, firstly, if you don't have, is it Jenna? Yeah, if you don't have Jenna, definitely bring probably this Jericho, because Jericho does boost up attack-related stats for blues. So yeah, she's pretty good in the 4th slot. But here's some characters. I wouldn't recommend bringing Mikasa since she does do AoE attacks and her actual attacks aren't too great. But Princess Elizabeth, well, Guardian Elizabeth Hawk, she isn't too bad because you will be getting debuffed, which then you can use your actual her tier 2 card and put some shields on it, give up resistance, so you'll be taking less damage than usual. Plus, she does an amplified card, so if you get more buffs, it'll be pretty good. You could bring Demon Lady Otis and Elizabeth, depending on how good your gear is, especially if you're free to play and you invested into this team. It works. It's not the best one because obviously you might want to go towards Barn. But yeah, these two, it's not the worst play. I did do it with someone and it was still quite easy, so it's not a bad play. I wouldn't recommend bringing Diane because the boss don't buff himself, so you're not going to get the rupture damage. Other characters I wouldn't bring any other blue. You could bring Jericho. I wouldn't recommend it since, I mean, you're bringing probably this Jericho. Jenna, like I said, you're probably giving your 4th slot, so she's not too bad. Galland isn't too bad. Obviously, I haven't invested into him, but he does have Amplify as well, and he's like Mikasa, but he does have an Amplify card, so he's going to do a ton of damage for a couple turns. This Arthur, probably an SS character to bring. Obviously, I haven't invested into him. If you manage to get into a tier 3, he does stun. And remember, you can actually CC the boss. This one does attack disable, so he will do no attacks, which is kind of nice. His ultimate, you probably have 1/6, so it might not do too much damage, but it's pretty decent. And his whole crate stuff is going to be pretty sick. So yeah, Arthur is going to be another character to bring. Okay, next. So this is the next one. So once again, if you got Zenari, she's going to be in the spot, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you could bring this guy, which does 10% extra damage on raid bosses. Now, honestly, you may get kicked if you don't have this team, I believe. Because I got kicked the first time I didn't have it. But this team is probably the best one. Honestly, it's quite hard to do damage, which means you're pretty much just going to be rushing ults, which is why we're using Elizabeth and Escanor. Escanor probably an SS for the raid boss, since, yeah, literally, most of the time you can see in the footage in the background. Most of us were just hitting patience, but his ultimate just does so much damage in return. I recommend bringing Valenti. At least one of you, because her passive, obviously doing resistance, is just so good, right? It's so good. And if you don't have a gear built for her, literally just bring rare gear and build up some resistance for her. It works. It helps out quite a lot. And you can see more time in the footage in the background. Literally, he does like no damage. Plus with the heals from Elizabeth, honestly, Elizabeth is the MVP here. He does do an AoE attack that restricts recovery rated stats or like recovery abilities. So at that point you can't use his ult. But she does have a Purify on the tier 2, so definitely do save that. He also buffs himself up, which on a tier 1 she does remove it. So literally stopping for doing HP buff. And literally both of you using Elizabeth's, I believe that's the footage I have in the background. You literally rotate in between Escanor. It's literally OP. Now for other characters to bring, let's see. I wouldn't bring Eren. Mine's 6/6, I still wouldn't bring him. He's not worth it. Someone did bring him today. It's still unusable, but he kind of got carried by me. You can bring Vivian. No, Jillian. Is it new Jillian? She does increase HP related up to 30%. With Valenti, you're never going to die, right? You just keep on healing. It's quite easy. King is a good one. Now, like I said, he is probably the only person who'll be doing quite a lot of damage because he is getting the boost because he is fairy. But yeah, I still recommend bringing Escanor. Bear in mind, my Escanor is 6/6, where this King is only 1/6, so it's definitely not worth it. And I have UR gear for Escanor, where I don't have UR gear for King. And if it was, it would be HP related stats or HP and defense. So yeah, King, probably not worth bringing. Jenna, you're going to have in a full slot if you don't have her. I think you could bring this Barn. I'm not actually sure. I wouldn't though. Literally, I honestly, most of the comps you can kind of bring who you want, but I'd say honestly recommend bringing literally just this team. If someone has Valenti, probably just change over to Merlin to get a shield. but then again, you lose the actual combined attack. But then I would go towards King. So other than that, literally must use Elizabeth and also Escanor. And then also I would bring either... And then also I'll probably switch between Valenti or King. But most of the time they already have Valenti. So yeah, even still, just ult rush with Escanor. This one's pretty straightforward. Kind of easy, but there's not really much to do about the team. So this one is by far the funnest one. I loved it. It was such so fun doing it yesterday. So firstly, SSSSZ God tier. Derriere. Derriere's broken for this raid boss. He does do quite a lot of damage, and if he is attacking Derriere, he does have evade, so you're gonna do a ton of damage. But she buffs herself up. Every attack she does, she's getting 10% extra attack. It's absolutely insane. I'm sure you already know about this, so I don't have to go into too much detail about her. Gopher. We're bringing Gopher because we need to get okay, firstly I have so we're going to skip Gopher, I'll talk about in a minute. D-Medios obviously being boosted for the event. Still kind of usable, although I recommend bringing either Escanor, because Escanor will actually have to amplify, because you are going to get buffed up quite a bit, because the must-use person, at least for one of the teams, is going to be Arthur. Now, I'm not using Arthur right now, because the person I was running with had Arthur. There's no real point of having two Arthurs. You can, if you want to, but at that point, they're probably using this team, and if they're using this team, you might as well just get the extra bit of damage, switch over to Escanor, and he does tons of damage because he has 4 buffs on, right? And yeah, you're using Gopher because he's a red, and he will obviously upgrade everyone's card and make the team so much better. And the reason why it's so much fun is because obviously everyone's buffing up, especially Derriere, but Elaine is sick. So not only is she made for the boss, to where she does does this work against the boss? I think it does. So not only if she comes in, she's not too bad. I don't think she can stun the boss, but she does counter stances, which is good. And buffs too. You can lower his defense, I believe. But also this as well. You're using the full slot anyway to get the brilliant component for hell difficulty. But this here, her passive is nuts. So increase allies stat related buffs. So every time someone's getting a buff, you're going to boost up by half. So you get like a 1.5 buff each time you use a buff, which is this. It's mad, right? Bear in mind, Derriere is obviously buffing up each turn, and you can see in the background that both of us just going ham with Derriere. And if you do get an Arthur buff, you're going to get basically a 1.5 buff from him. It's insane. So teams you could bring. So like I said, if someone has Arthur, definitely rotate between him and Escanor. You can bring Lost Fane. Lost Fane surprisingly does a lot of damage when I was going against someone who's using him, because obviously you're getting the buffs as well from everyone else. You can't freeze, so don't bring Merlin. King, there's no point. He does no damage, literally. Slater, I want to bring Twiggo. Go Twiggo, increases strength HP. You could if you wanted to. But to be fair, I'd probably go towards attack, because like I said, if you have Derriere, you're going to be insane. Now, like I said, if you don't have Derriere, I'm sure most of you probably already have him on a red team, because it is a very free-to-play friendly team. After you can get 6/6 quite easy, you should already have Gopher. I'm pretty sure he's getting away for free. And he's in the coin shop. Even now, he's in the coin shop now, so he's 5 coins. You want to pick him up. Escanor as well is in the coin shop. You pick him up too. It's like OP for it. And other than that, you might want to use, if you're not using a lane, or if you don't use Twiggo, definitely do bring this Jericho, because he will increase attack-related stats. So unlike Kill, don't bring this Elizabeth. The reason why, she will never get this passive to go up, because he's always going to be attacking you. You might get a turn where she don't attack, but still, his passive is going to constantly get reset, so don't even bring her. Demon Melee, there are better units, despite him being kind of good for the raid boss. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you don't have Escanor, if you don't have Derriere, definitely do bring, because you will do some good damage. I believe you can bring Benny Mari if you wanted to, because he does decrease attack related stats or defense, right? Yeah, he does. So like Elaine, basically kind of a mini point for Elaine, and his passive will increase. But Benny Mari, listen, if you don't have these 4 people and you have Benny Mari, you've probably done something wrong in the game. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the raid boss. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is the go-to team. Most of you should have at least the mono red version of the team, because it's just so easy. So yeah, that's gonna actually wrap up the video. So there you go, that's the footage for today. Quite a big update. I loved it. I like doing raid bosses now. It's actually quite mad. But yeah, it's quite fun, especially this one here. This one, getting Derriere and just boosting up to the max. Bear in mind, mine's only 1/6, but she's still hitting like 1 million damage on her ult. It's insane. So yeah, I hope it helped out. If you have any questions, definitely leave in the comments. I'll try and respond if I can. But yeah, hopefully it was clear. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and peace.